Hey everybody, my name is Portia Chanel Vanderhorst, and I am your thrilled, exuberant, excited, a little bit nervous, but definitely confident instructor, confident that we're going to create something wonderful together in culturally reflective instruction, ETM 521. And so I wanted to take a moment in this intro video to introduce myself and share how you'll introduce yourself to the class. I want to show you how you can tell me what you need to succeed. We'll go over expectations for our course and we'll clarify how we're going to discuss our learning throughout the course. So, an introduction. I'm not going to tell you everything on here. I'm going to save some narrative for when we get together on October 20th. But again, Portia S. Vanderhorst, Masters of Education in Curriculum, Secondary Curriculum and Instruction. And this is a smattering of things about my life that I'll tell you maybe a little bit more about when we get together. But I want to pull out some things that mean a lot to me. Y'all, I love my family. Top left corner, those are my people. My mother, Janice, my father, Ronnie, my sister, Shalisha, and then me on the left in front of my mom. Uh, I came from a family that loved people, loved one another, loved our culture. And so when I became a part of this equity and excellence in education program at McDaniel College over a decade ago, when I completed the certificate program, this course right here, I think was my favorite. And now that I get a chance to teach it, reflecting on my life journey as an educator, but just as a human being, going to a private parochial school with all Black teachers and all Black students and being immersed in my culture, being able to go to two wonderful HBCUs, Oakwood University and Howard University, then going to spaces that were not primarily Black, like McDaniel College, and learning with students to get my administrator certificate and to get my certificate for this program. Just the combination of it has really built me up and made me so passionate about this course, not just putting it into practice, but helping other educators and other burgeoning educators embrace culture reflective instruction as good first instruction. Um, you see a picture of me singing. I am a singer. I studied music, vocal performance in undergrad. It was actually my minor. And in my heart, I'm a Broadway star, and y'all ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing different. So if I find a reason to include some tunes in our learning, you'll understand why. Um, I am enraptured with the redwoods. I spent time in Guerneville, California this past summer, uh, hiking and just taking in the majesty of the trees. It settles me, it enlivens me all at the same time. And so that is something I truly enjoy. And I wasn't always an outdoors girly, but give me some redwoods, give me some water, give me the air, the stars, the sky. I truly enjoy more and more being out in nature. I also believe it's always the right time to do what's right. Dr. King said this, and it has encouraged me to become more involved or to continue to be involved in my community. And I recently uh, applied and interviewed and was selected for my part of my county citizen advisory board. And so I'm learning a whole new part of how decisions get made in communities, y'all. It's very interesting. And I love creating experiences for people, gathering community. And I have this Porsche purposefully presents kind of like a little logo and motivation for myself. That whatever I put my hand to, there has to be purpose in it and joy. And so part of my purpose is to be with you all. That's a little bit about myself. And like I said, you'll get to know more, but each of you will be making a slide of introduction, and we'll have a minute throughout our first session to introduce yourself. You'll be able to find the links to the slide template already as you go through the syllabus and look through the expectations to be prepared for our gathering on October the 20th. I look forward to meeting you all and hearing your introductions. I also am really going to want to know what you need to thrive in this community. What would make you walk away from class energized, not drained? And so you'll see a link to a Padlet once again on the syllabus and on Blackboard. And this Padlet will look like this. And you'll use the at the bottom right corner, the plus sign. Click it to add your response. What do you need to thrive in this course, in this community? So I look forward to your responses and making that happen for you. I also want to tell you a little bit about my thoughts around grading and my thoughts around the role that it plays in learning. I do ask that you take a minute to read the philosophical statements about grading and wellness in the syllabus. It's important that you know that I value your learning above all else. Well, I value you as human beings above all else. I value your learning after that. And grades, grades, right? They're not necessarily the most helpful things in the learning process. But I do know that a condition of my employment with this program and your participation as a student necessitates that I evaluate your learning using letters, using numbers, but no letter or number can truly provide you with the feedback that you need to reflect and grow. So I did teach English language arts, so I am quite versed in giving responses, feedback to writing, and in discussion. So you will see comments, you will see questions. I may even send something back to you that says not yet if it hasn't met standard before I apply a letter grade. I want you to have time to 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 grow it, to deepen it, to expand it before that letter grade is assigned. Um, I know it's common practice elsewhere. I will not be deducting points for late work. I care more that you attain our course outcomes. And I know human learning is not linear. And it also doesn't like just happen because the end of the semester is coming that you are, oh, yes, the end of semester is here. So that means I have learned it. I know it. Not necessarily. It takes time to develop. It takes time to dig deep and to reflect at the depths. And so I'm aware of that. And also grades and APA formatting. It, it's the status quo. Um, One thing that those of us who instruct in this program really hope is that you become critical of the status quo. Listen, y'all, we should always be asking who decided and who decided who decided. I mean, why do we have to do that? Does it promote the status quo? Does it help us reach equity? Um, I know grading and APA, I will be doing it and I will be using it and expecting it, not because it is something passionate to me, not because I choose to, but I have to. And so you'll notice that, and you might even notice me having some tension around it. But I want you to know that I care more about learning for learning's sake than learning for validation through a grade. If that's something that clashes with how you've been oriented to think about grades and learning, a cultural or communal nuance that is more familiar, way of being that's more familiar to you, I understand. I apologize in advance. And I think that's something that we can work through and navigate together. I also want to share that the wellness statement in the syllabus was shared actually by Dr. Nicole Gonzalez Van Cleve from the Department of Sociology at Brown University. She shared it on Twitter. And I think it truly, truly expresses what we as instructors in this program believe about health and well-being. And so I want you, when you read that statement, to know that it's something that we need to hold each other accountable to. I will not be working until exhaustion as your facilitator, and I don't want you to do that as the student, as the the one who has signed up and engaging yourself in the course. And so I value your health and well-being. I value mine, and we need to be healthy. We need to be well in order to succeed at this level. We've got to balance our work in this course with rest, with exercise, with eating well, with hydrating, with whatever meditative or relaxation or spiritual practice may help calm and regulate us. This is going to be rigorous. It's going to be wonderfully challenging. Weekly reading, weekly writing, weekly discussion, concepts that may be new or concepts that might deepen, concepts that might challenge you or your worldview. And I really hope you feel proud of yourself. I hope to feel proud of myself as a facilitator, and I hope you feel proud of yourself, as the learner in here, that we've accomplished something beautiful and that we were well as we did it. And so I want to encourage you, and I will be kind of asking questions on this on our first class about, do you have a game plan? Have you had a game plan this school year about your health and well-being? If not, how can I support you with that? We can be well and well educated at the same time. So I hope that you're willing to embrace that with me.